Hello, good evening, and welcome everybody. Welcome to another West UK Weekly. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of music there. That was especially for my guest this week, Michelle Richards even. Did you hear that music, Michelle?
I didn't hear it, no.
Did you hear it?
No.
Oh, it was all totally, oh no, bummer.
Oh, I was so excited.
It was a song I found called Camera Girl.
Oh, perfect.
You'll hear it back on the live replay later, I hope.
Oh, okay.
I was really hoping actually that you'd be sitting there giggling and chuckling away at that, and
What,
I'm
doing
looking
a
at your
bit
little
of
preview of your face.
showing some moves.
Yeah, I was expecting to see you dancing and everything on the little preview and smiling, but it's like she can't hear it or what? So welcome everyone this evening. A few changes to the show. Audio has now gone pro. Apparently, there's one thing I've been screwing up for the last week in, week out is audio. And as I was saying to Michelle the other day, that audio, I read somewhere online a few weeks ago, audio is 50% of your video. So now we've had all these wonderful guests on, and now we can actually hear them. So joining me this evening, Joining me this evening is Michelle Roberts, headshot photographer. Richards. Why do I keep saying Roberts? Michelle Richards is joining me on the show this evening, even.
I've actually got my name on the screen in front of me, so I don't forget.
I know, I'm reading it as well. It's so on tonight's comedy show, folks. So joining me is Michelle Richards, photographer extraordinaire, and the lady responsible for the show artwork at the start of this show. So Michelle, tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are.
I'll start off with who I am, if that's all right. Well, thank you for having me. I've seen some of the previous guests you've had, so it's an honour to be here.
You've seen all the cock-ups I've made as well, right?
No, just gloss over that. It's fine. So yeah, my name is Michelle Richards. I run a business called Michelle Richards Photography, which is basically me. I'm a photographer. I work with businesses, helping them look better online. I'm a small business, and I work with lots of other small businesses. So my main aim is to help those businesses and business owners who look at their competitors' websites and think, oh, wow, that's amazing, I want to look like that. I help them do that. Because I'm a small business owner myself, I think I know what it's like running a business because I do it myself. I've started from scratch. I set up my business when just after my daughter was born. I was made redundant, and I used to have a proper job. Now I'm self-employed. So I set up my business from scratch. Then
you mean now you've got a proper job?
Now I've got a proper job. Now I've got my dream job. Now I've got a job.
Not working for someone else.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's it really. I work for myself. I work on location around the southeast. So I live in Bromley, not far from Richard actually, and my passion is photography. So I spend most of my time taking photos for my own fun, as well as helping.
Welcome, Jane.
Hi, Jane. Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell, really.
Awesome. See, folks, I told you we'd have a good guest on eventually. All the other week's guests are watching it now, going, right, I'm switching this off.
Up to it. You've really built it up.
Yeah, they're all switching off now, going, I hate you, Rich. You suck. I bet you say that to all the guests, she says. Not all of them. So tonight, one of the things that Michelle does, and she does it very well, is there's a lot of photographers out there who just want to take your photograph. And that's fine. There's a lot of them taking some excellent photographs. What Michelle focuses on, and I'm sure she'll swear at me if I get this wrong, is concentrating your photography on your marketing and telling your story. Would that be a pretty accurate summary, Michelle?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for me, the important thing about using photography in business is about exactly that. It's about getting across to your potential clients who you are and what you do. It's people these days are everything is visual, everything's in your face, and people are visual. If you're scrolling through Facebook and somebody's posted something and there's no photo, well, you just scroll past it, don't you?
Indeed.
It's about helping people be more eye-catching with their marketing, really. And part of that is, sorry, I keep seeing all these comments at the bottom.
I know, it's distracting, isn't it?
It is a bit.
It's like, oh my God, it's live. People are actually hearing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did Neela's photographs as well, which I was just, I finished off putting on our website for her yesterday, and
I did, and I've got one to show you actually a bit later on.
Yeah, pictures do look fabulous.
It really shows how you can use photography to strengthen your brand, and that's the key thing, really. It's about engagement. It's about people. It's scroll stopping, really. It's about people being engaged with your post, but also engaged with you, and people identifying with you and who you are. And it adds a real personal touch, particularly if you're a small business. There are big businesses out there that can probably do things more cheaply. They can do things en masse, but actually the benefits of the plus of a small business is that personal service.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to get across. If you're a business owner, you need to get across the personal service. And quite often I meet businesses and they ask me for photos of what they do and what they make, but actually they've forgotten the key thing. They are the face of their business. So it's about putting that side of the business across as well.
Indeed. And I think a lot of the benefit of having a lot of the cut price photographers out there is it really makes what you do stand out and pop. When you did the photos for this show. Yeah, when you did the photos for this show, it wasn't a case of, right, stand there, click, click, job done, off you go. It was a case of, right, look, Rich, what are you trying to achieve? What do you want to get out of it? What message are you trying to send? And we had quite a considerable discussion as well during the photo shoot, didn't we?
We did, yeah,
in
we
between
did.
all the giggling and messing around.
Yeah, actually, it did take quite a long time.
I know, right? It's too much giggling and not enough photos going on. So if you ever want to work with a photographer who actually can make you laugh, then Michelle's the one to call. You won't get any photos done because you'll just be too busy rolling about laughing.
Exactly. That's the battle though for me, is getting people to relax. So
yeah,
you know what I'm like. I like to chat. I'll chat about anything from chocolate.
Yeah, she even laughs at my jokes too, so that's quite an achievement.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if she's just being polite or if they're actually funny.
But that's part of it though. If I'm at a photo shoot, quite often I've not met people before, or I've maybe had a chat with them on the phone, and it's a very intense couple of hours, half a day, whatever it is. It's quite intense, and you very quickly need to get to know somebody, get to know their business, so that you can put that across. And actually part of that is what makes them relax in front of the camera as well.
Like a bit of speed dating business-wise, isn't it?
Yes, a bit, yeah.
Get to know them real fast. Luckily, she knew what we did before she met me, so that was.
Yeah, luckily, it is easier when I've met people before.
She knew what she was letting herself in for, and she still said yes.
Yeah.
So she is insane. So on tonight's show, we're going to talk about everything to do with the marketing side of photography. We're not going to get into the technical, what button to press when, and all the twiddly bits on your camera. There's plenty of guys on YouTube doing that already. Or if you want, just ask me and I'll show you how to screw it all up. And so we're going to get into that. Like I said, this month is marketing month. So we're going to be focusing on the marketing side of it and how to use photography in your marketing and what sort of story you should be telling, and how what Michelle does makes an impact on that, and the role it plays. So one thing I would like to ask everyone who's watching, all two of them. No, there's a few more than that.
Is it just two? One of them might be my mum.
No, there's 4 on YouTube at the moment, and God knows how many watching on Facebook. So we are live on both platforms at once. One of the things I'd like to ask is, when was the last time any of you out there had your photograph taken properly, other than when you were at school and the teacher lined you up with all your class buddies and said, stand still and say cheese? So when was the last time any of you actually had your photograph taken? Pop a little thing in the comments down below so we can see when was the last time you actually had your photograph taken properly by a real camera and not just someone saying stand still. That's why they were taking a selfie. I'd be very curious to know when you all had your photograph taken. And me and Michelle can sit here and gawp at all the answers that you come up with.
Yeah. I think I know the answer that 2 people are going to put, because I've seen them I've seen them. I've done them.
Yeah, 2 of us was a week ago.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got in just before this lockdown started and got mine done just before Christmas, so I was lucky there.
Yeah, we were actually. I've had quite a few kind of getting
I've
in
actually
touch.
got a mute button here, and I'm not even using it. I've got so many buttons on. I pressed the wrong one. So if I, there you go. You couldn't hear that. Found the right button. So to kick things off, Michelle, let's throw a question out there. What role does photography play in marketing? And what types of photography are there?
Well, you know, like I said, it's about telling your story. It's about making yourself stand out from the crowd, engaging your clients. I've got actually. Can I share my screen? Can you share that photo? The one.
I sure can. So everyone's going to see me and Michelle, except for Michelle. So if I do that,
no, I can. This is working for me now. I can,
you can see it now.
I've sorted it out. I can see everything. So
Awesome.
this photo is. I'm just using this as an example. So this is from a shoot that I did for a lady last year. So the lady on the right is Ingrid, and she's the business owner. She set up a business about 10 years ago, and it's a business called Organise Your House. So
she's got a wonderful smile, hasn't she?
Oh, she's fabulous. She's absolutely fabulous. They basically declutter you, and they help you declutter your home, organise your house, and as you can see from the photo at the bottom, they help you move house. So those are her. And that's her team, Catherine and Judith. Now, the thing, you know, the thing that she wanted to put across in our shoot was that it's not some global organisation that's just going to come in and break your crockery. To be honest, if I wanted anybody to pack up my place, it would be those three women. That, you know, look at them. Yeah. They're totally trustworthy. They're there having a cup of tea. It kind of puts across that proper team feel, and that's what they are.
So they're going to turn up and drink your tea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they are actually.
Happy days.
I think that's what photography can tell a real story of your business. I mean, that's just a few photos from our shoot. We've got lots of others which show what they do, but also who they are. And for each of her team members, she's got a nice headshot with a little bio underneath that tells you a little bit more about them, and it's much more personal.
Awesome.
They're a local business. They're not massive, but they look very professional on their website because they've got professional photos. And I think it just helps people, or helps your potential clients, identify with you because they realise there's a real person behind the website or behind the business running the business.
Quite a real connection, isn't it?
It is. It's about connecting with people, and it's about building trust. Because
you look at all the nice pictures on their website and see the pictures of the people that are doing the work, and then when they turn up to your house and you actually see the same people, you're like, oh, okay, happy days, come on.
That's exactly it. I mean, how many times you looked at websites and there's all these beautiful people in beautiful places? They look nothing like the people that you're actually employing or using or buying from. And I think that if you're a small business, for me, that's a must. You're quite often competing with so many other companies that you have to set yourself apart, and you have to get people to. Well, it is that whole know, like, and trust thing, isn't it?
Indeed.
They know you, and they're going to like you, and that they're going to trust you. And I think
so she runs like an anti-hoarding company.
Yeah, actually, she's lovely, but I hope she's not watching this.
She's not a hoarder herself, is she?
I wouldn't get her in my house.
A house full of boxes and removal stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Other people's junk.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he was going to throw it away, so I brought it home. It's a nice set of photos, though, and it really does sort of say, hey, look, we can do this professional service for you with a smile, and we can sit and have a chat with you as well.
That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah, and I think that's certainly one aspect of photography that if you're a small business that you need to be getting right. You need to be getting the branding photography right. Now, some people, I'm talking about branding photography here. There's also, obviously, most people, if you talk about commercial or corporate photography, the first thing they think of is headshots. And again, I think the stats on LinkedIn are that if you have a profile with a photo, it's 14 times more likely to be seen or to be looked at than if you don't have a photo.
Yeah, you just scroll past all the blank spaces.
Absolutely. And because if you're faceless, who is that? Like, we don't know who that. Why would you trust someone when they're not showing you their face?
It's like trying to sell something on eBay without a photograph.
Yeah, you get suspicious because you think they're trying to hide something.
Mm.
So for me, it's about putting across who you are, telling your story, and getting your clients to identify with you and trust you, and ultimately buy from you.
Mm. That's what I like about the photos you did for this show. Is that I wanted a photo that said, no nonsense. Although it is turning into be a bit of a nonsense, bit of a comedy. We should have done a giggly photo. It's like when Michelle came and did mine. I just wanted a photograph that said, no nonsense, to the point. You're going to learn something whether you like it or not. Just tune in, and you can't help but trip over useful information and learn something. And without realizing it, Michelle's direction, if you like, is that the right word for it? Direction. When you're telling someone where to stand and how to,
yeah,
even to the point of telling me where to put my chin.
I've actually told people where to put their fingers. Like, can you get rid of that little finger? I'm a bit like Craig Revel Horwood.
I'm telling you, she was focusing on every little shadow, and she's like, move your chin forward just an inch. Now to the right an inch, and you're like this, and you're making all these funny faces, and you're like, this doesn't feel. She's like, nope, stay still. But it came out perfect. And,
it works.
So following her direction, you get exactly what you want without even realizing just the level of detail she's going into until she's gone. You're like, oh Christ, that was actually quite intense. When you see
exhausting.
the photos, when you see the photo, if you don't behave yourself like me, then you're going to get a lot of direction. But when you see the photos later, you're like, oh, I see why she did that now. That makes sense. But yeah, it's it's a great way to tell your story and get the image you want to get across, which someone can't do if they don't know what the hell you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Neela says,
oh, go on.
Embarrassingly, she last had her photo taken at her wedding in 2003. Shame on you, Neela.
Apart from the ones I've just taken.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. Very long time ago. Wonder if Pete Brass or any of the other crowd are joining us tonight. Hopefully, haven't heard a word out of Susan yet. Susan normally tunes in on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, don't know.
Unless her husband's made her go for dinner. Cool. Apologies, I do disrupt people quite a lot.
All right.
Feel free to carry on.
Should we talk a bit about headshots? I've sort of touched on it a little bit.
So that's what role it plays. What sort of types of photography are there?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the first thing that people think of, we've talked a bit about branding, which I can talk a bit more about later. But I suppose the first thing that most people that get in touch with me say, I need a headshot. For whatever reason. Quite often they say they need a headshot, and that turns into a lot more than that. Actually, I think that's what happened with you. They talk about things, so they realise that they need a bit more. But if we just talk about headshots, I mean, I did say that LinkedIn profiles are 14 times more likely to be seen if they have a photo. And again, it's that whole trust thing and knowing who you're dealing with, seeing who you're dealing with. And I suppose one of the questions to put to people, you don't have to answer this truthfully, but
no, they do.
Just you don't have to put it in the comments if you don't want to, but just think about your own headshot. Firstly, what's it like? What is your headshot like? Are you oh, Jane loves her photos. Of course,
look, Michelle's in big screen now.
But are you proud of your headshots? Do people ask you, if somebody asks you to write a blog post and they need a headshot, do you kind of go, oh God, I hate mine? Oh, do you send it off to people and apologize? Do you, or is it something
really
you plan to show it off? And is it you? Does it look like you? So many people's shots are old. Their wedding photos, or they've cut themselves out of a party because they had their makeup done so they look great, except it doesn't look great because you're just clearly cut out from a group photo. And I suppose all of that stuff it doesn't do you any favors at all, because people look at that and just think, if you can't be bothered to get yourself a decent headshot, actually, what does that say about you? Even if you're not running your own business, even if you're an employee looking for new jobs, it doesn't look great.
Neela says it was so long ago she got given the negatives.
Oh, blimey, that is.
Is that when they were using big explosive flashes back then?
Yeah.
Big handles.
Oh, surely she's not that old.
No, she's not. She doesn't look it.
I've forgotten where I was now.
See, I told you I disrupt people a lot.
Yeah, no. I suppose the key thing is the photo has to look like you. People, like you said before, if people are going to use you to provide a service, you turn up and you don't look anything like your photo, then there's something wrong there, really. So it has to be up to date. It has to be good quality, not blurry, not cut out from a holiday snap. And the thing is that it also needs to be appropriate for what you're doing. I'm just going to, I think I need to move us on because I've got another photo.
Mm-hmm.
Do that.
I pop this back to that.
Does that work?
Yep. Can you see all three?
I'm just going back there. Yep. Oh, look at that. Slick.
Powers of technology, eh?
The reason I've shown this though is because oh, hang on, it's not that slick, it's flickering. Oh, there we go. Is because it's you can have a headshot, which is basically this. So if people aren't really sure what a headshot is, it's a photo from there up. Really, it's normally a portrait, 2x3, sometimes square. Although the couple there are landscape, but it's showing your head and shoulders.
Yeah,
basically.
From the chest upwards.
Sorry.
From the chest upwards, or top of your rib cage upwards.
Yeah, generally, yeah, and it generally just shows your face so people know what you look like. But these days, I mean, headshots used to be almost like school photos. They'd be very formal, very corporate, in front of a plain background, suited and booted. These days, because people have such a variety of jobs, you see all sorts of headshots. And I wanted just to kind of show you these ones here. Is that flickering for you, or is it just flickering for me?
No, it is flickering for everybody. It's flickering on YouTube as well.
I think that's my end.
I think the screen sharing does that sometimes. I think I think it's a screen share issue.
Okay, hang on.
Because I've tested this before and it flickered like crazy when I tested it.
Let me just see if
but those headshot photos are wonderful. They've got great depth to them, haven't they? It's not just.
Why is that doing that?
I wouldn't worry about it. It doesn't happen enough for.
Okay.
If anyone's got epilepsy, we're not going to trigger them. I don't think.
Oh, I've moved us, haven't I?
Oh no.
Sorry. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
So what was I saying?
For anyone watching on the podcast, these photographs, if you're listening on the podcast, these photographs look wonderful.
So just to demonstrate, with the lady on the left with her arms folded, she works for a city PR company. So it had to be fairly corporate, but not, not too dry. The lady at the top is one of Ingrid's declutterers. So she wanted something nice and smiley and happy in a kind of house background. The guy at the bottom, oh, there we go. The guy at the bottom works for a young, funky media company in London. And the lady on the right is a yoga teacher, and she's in her yoga vest. And we took lots more photos of her actually doing some yoga, but it wouldn't be appropriate for her to be wearing what the lady on the left is wearing. So the point is, if you were looking for a yoga teacher, you would not be looking for the lady on the left with her arms folded. So I suppose these days, it's, your headshot can be whatever you want it to be. It needs to be appropriate to your industry, but it needs to be you. And it also needs to be what your client is expecting to see. And that's the thing I would say is think about what your client wants to see, what they expect to see from the job that you're doing, really.
Yeah.
So
what are you going to look like the day they meet you, sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the lady the yoga teacher is actually called Michelle. She did say, should I wear something else? And I thought, well, are your clients ever going to see you wearing anything apart from your yoga stuff? No.
Exactly.
So yoga stuff.
Keep
So
the
it's
Sunday best for Sundays.
exactly, and it's about thinking about, you know, what is right for you, your job, and actually what is reflective of you. There's no. I mean, some women say to me, should I wear makeup? Should I wear loads of jewelry and stuff? And my answer is, well, only if it's you. Yeah, a bit of makeup is always great on camera, but quite frankly, don't turn up wearing bright red lipstick if
Not when I do it.
because you won't look like you, and you'll hate your photo because you won't look like you. So I suppose it's all about the real you, what you actually look like, while keeping it appropriate. Now, obviously, all of those photos there are professional headshots. Most people can differentiate between a professional headshot and a non-professional headshot.
Like a selfie.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I would say, obviously, because that's my job, I would say invest in a professional headshot because people can tell the difference. And I think if people know you've invested in it, they'll take you more seriously and they'll think that you're taking your business more seriously, taking yourself more seriously because you've invested in something like that.
I'd actually go a bit further than that and say, actually, most people, when you say most people can tell the difference, I'd say the difference between something shot with a mobile phone versus shot professionally is pretty obvious. It's glaringly obvious. The gaps are getting smaller as phones are getting better, but the style of photograph that you get, the posture and the depth of field and stuff like that, the two are miles apart. They don't even compare.
Yeah, you're right. And the thing is with using a professional photographer is, like you were saying, you know, it's about the detail. And headshot photographers have got experience in giving people direction and getting them to pose. So
and hiding all your chins.
I can see, looking through the camera, what you're looking like. And I know how to adjust it. And also, you know, professional photographers are expert in not only in positioning and posture for photos, but also lighting. And half the problem with headshots is lighting.
Well, those 4 photographs there look like they were lit beautifully.
Thank you.
They look very good. And I noticed that was one of the things that you were constantly banging on about when you came and did my photos was she looks everywhere but you. She's like this. Where's that window? Where's that light coming from? She's doing this all the time. Where's the light coming from? Which angle would be best for the light? And you're like, it's like working with a moth.
Yeah, that's it though. And I remember yours actually because we had all the sunlight coming in and it was a bit of a nightmare. It kept going.
Yeah, you got the sun in your face here and a bright bit of sun there and skylight windows. It's like, oh my God, just shut all the curtains, all of them.
And if you're stood there doing it with your phone, then you know you're not really aware of all that stuff because you've not got the eye for it.
Well, plus you can't see the other side of the screen.
Sorry?
You can't see the other side of the screen when the phone's
no,
facing
exactly.
away.
Exactly.
No. What a lot of people may not be aware of is that on your phone, the camera that's facing you is less than half the resolution of the other camera on the other side.
Yeah.
So if your phone says it's a 12 megapixel camera, sure, but only the one that's facing away from you. The one that's facing towards you is closer to 5 or 6.
Yeah. That's the thing I was going to actually say about next.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I can move on if you like.
Shut up, Rich, she says.
Because obviously right now, nobody can... Oh, I'm reading this.
Yeah, you did some magic here. She's very proud. Neela says she's very proud of hers as Michelle managed to achieve the impossible in my eyes. She managed to get across my business message in photographs that looked like me. Yeah, indeed. And having seen those pictures and put them up on her website, Homeopathic Harmony, last night, they do literally. You can't help but know exactly what she does straight from the second you see them. And that's what it's about. It tells her story of here's what she does. So it's cool.
Yeah, it does.
Apologies.
No, that's all right. That's fine. I mean,
so for achieving the impossible, I think Michelle gets a...
Is that because I've talked more than you have?
Yeah, and because you achieved the impossible. Sorry, folks. I've been itching to press that button for ages. See, I told you this was a show where we just muck about and talk about business every now and then. Wait till next week's sound effects.
I was going to say, just going on from that, because you were talking about mobile phone cameras. And yeah, absolutely. You know, so if you've got your phone like this and you're taking your selfie like that, then the camera on the front is not always, I don't think, but generally they're not as good as the ones on the back. And
definitely on iPhones they're not.
Sorry?
Definitely on iPhones they're not.
Yeah, I mean, I've got
roughly about half the resolution of the ones facing the other way.
Yeah.
So unless you can do that with your hand and get the back of the phone to face you and see what you're doing at the same time, you're not even going to get close to a decent picture.
No, but the thing is, what you need to do is actually get somebody else to do it, because this is what I was going to say. Because right now, I'm just going to move on to the next thing. Was obviously right now we're in lockdown, so unless I've got a very long lens, I'm not going to be taking any headshots for the foreseeable.
Drive past your house and take a photo as she goes past.
Yeah, exactly. Drive-by shooting. So what I wanted to do, actually, if anyone's interested, is just give you a few tips on actually doing a DIY headshot, because you're not going to get a professional photographer to do it right now. And while obviously I'm going to say don't do a DIY headshot, you need to get a professional. You know, I recognise that the people actually do need them right now, because I know a lot of people are working on their websites and they're doing a lot of marketing, and they probably need. There will be people out there that need some sort of stopgap until they can get a professional. So if you are, what I was going to say was, firstly, don't do that. I'm trying to do it, but I can't. But don't start doing it.
All you can see is your elbow now.
Yeah, I know. Don't do it yourself. If you want to take your own headshot as a stopgap, and I would obviously say just a stopgap, at least somebody else to do it, so they can use the camera on the back, but also so you've not got this weird sort of shoulder angle thing, arm thing going on.
Well, yeah, plus all of your arm in the photograph.
Yeah, it just puts you in a weird position. And also, to be honest, I've tried doing my own. I've tried doing it myself, and you just can't look relaxed while you're trying to get your thumb on the button. It just doesn't work. So get someone else to do it, someone that you trust, and also somebody that understands the importance of what you're trying to achieve, and that it's going to say, oh, after 2 shots, that's fine, that'll do. It needs to be someone that gets it. But the other thing...
take loads.
Yeah, take loads, but we were talking earlier about lighting. The thing to do, if you're going to use your phone, is don't use the flash. So professional photographers have a whole load of lighting equipment. Most of them will use either an umbrella, or probably 2 umbrellas, or a softbox. And those things diffuse the light. So you get a nice soft light that bathes across your face. Any sort of flash, single flash, but particularly these on phones, all they do is just put really harsh light on your face. You'll get loads of shadows and it just looks awful.
It's like someone shining a torch in your face, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like ghost story stuff, or it's horrible. So what you need to do it during the day, and use a find
outdoors if they can,
window or door as a light source. So you don't want any sunlight. You just want to use the window. So face the window. So if the window's here, there.
So you want the light behind you.
Facing the window, so your face is facing, you're looking out the window, so you don't want the light behind you, you want to be looking out of the window, looking towards the window.
The light behind the camera.
Yeah, light behind the camera and the person who's taking it, and then you'll get lots of nice natural light on your face. And just turn around a bit. I mean, you can probably see where I am. I've got one light over there, and you can probably see how it, if when I change my direction, my
one side lit up and the other side is shadowed.
Yeah, and you can probably see as I turn it, you can see the shadows changing on my face. So just stand in front of the window and just turn a little bit and work out.
That's not her light. That's how she looks all the time.
Yeah, I'm shiny on one side, not on the other. Oh, I'm back to front.
Just walked around with a torch in her face all day.
I think what most people do anyway is take it slightly from above, not right up there, but just so slightly from above, and don't stand full on like this. Just stand at a little angle, because if you stand like this, you're just going to look like a police mugshot. And the other thing, just think about what's behind you. So not too cluttered, nice and simple. You know, a plain background, plain wall or something, ideally.
No, she says that she's looking what's behind me is just a mess.
I was actually, yeah. But you know, if that helps, then great, because I realised people these days at the minute are just struggling to get anything done like that. So if you're really desperate to get one done, you can do it yourself. It's just, it won't be the same as a professional headshot, but you can make it
possible, but you're not going to. You're not going to get that. You're probably not going to achieve getting your story across. You get your picture across, but maybe not the story that goes with it.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm really just saying that if you need this, then you know those tips hopefully might help.
Happy days. Cool. So that's some headshots and DIY headshots. What about branding photography?
Branding a little bit.
Yeah, because this is where your speciality really sort of comes into it.
Yeah. So
I like to say Michelle's more beyond the camera.
I like that.
The first part of what she does.
Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see what your mouse is doing. We can see your internet history as well.
No,
bank details.
I'm just trying to stop it flickering.
Apparently, someone says.
No, it's okay now.
Tracy says it's not flickering at her end, so that's fantastic. Hopefully, it's not flickering for anyone else. It's just me and Michelle.
I think it's just me
having these little fits.
Yeah. So this photo, it's one of Neela's, to be honest. So Neela, as we said, homeopathic harmony. So she's a homeopath, and her logo is this sort of pile of stones in a different combination. I think it's not exactly the same pile of stones, but that's kind of
over by that point.
Sorry,
the stones had fallen over by that point.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of her brand. This, the pile of stones, and that's what she's got on her website, and that's in her logo. So we wanted to get across what she does, but keep it on brand. And this is exactly it. So she uses these remedies with her clients, and this is what's on. I don't know if it's on her website yet, but it will be on her website.
Yeah, it was on there. I put it on there last night.
The thing is, I think maybe people don't really know what branding photography is, but basically it's usually a batch or a handful, maybe, or even more, of professional photos that represent your brand visually. So people talk about logos, they talk about fonts, they talk about colors, but actually the branding photography is the photos of you and your business that fit in with your brand. So, or fit in with your visual identity, either through the use of colors or props, like we've got the stones here. Basically trying to get across what makes your business unique. And this is where, if you're thinking of using stock photos, and this was the problem that Neela was finding, stock photos of those bat flower remedies, they just didn't fit with her brand. They were different colors, and they were all just a different feel and different style to how to her, actually, and how she is. Which is why we did something different. So that's part of what branding photography is. So if you're thinking of using stock photos, they don't always cut it, because they don't fit with your visual identity. You're kind of trying to shoehorn photos in that not necessarily putting across what you want to put across, and they don't fit in with that sort of brand consistency across your website, social media, and wherever else.
Yeah, I think a good example. Sorry, I think a good example of branding photography is if you were to look at Autoglim, the car polish people. They make car polish and shampoos. If you look at their branding photography, it's always one of their products either on or right in front of a super shiny car. And it's not always a brand new car. It's always, home enthusiasts who really, really like cleaning their cars.
Not like you, because I've got no idea what that is.
You've not seen my car, have you? It's got things growing out of it right now. To start charging them for taxi fares every time I go out of the car. But yeah, their branding. It's not just a case of here's our product. It's a case of here's our product and who's using it and what it's doing. It's telling that story of this car you see in the background was done using this. So it's like she says, it's telling the story of what your products are doing and what they're about.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. And it's also about engagement with your audience or with your clients. It's
what did she say? They were too twee.
Too twee.
Is that what all the cool kids are saying these days?
I think that might be an 80s word.
Stock photos were too twee for me. And all is that a typo or a phrase I've never heard of?
No, it's not a typo. It's a word. They were all a bit flowery, floral, a bit sort of, I would say twee as well, actually. They were all very green and leafy and flowers and a bit country kitchen almost, I think.
Right.
And that's not what Neela wanted.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Is, your clients can spot stock photos a mile off. They all look the same. And the fact is that when people go and, when Neela has a consultation with somebody, they will see, I don't know if you can see it, but there is wallpaper there. They will see the wallpaper. Yeah. They will see that blue bottle because it's there in her consultation room. So it's authentic. That's the thing.
They'll recognise their surroundings as well, won't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing we did while we were there was I actually took some photographs of a consultation. So when she was chatting with a client, or are they patients? I'm not sure. And again, it was in the setting where she would be seeing her clients. So there's no surprises. You turn up, that's where it's going to be, what it's going to look like, and it gives you a sense of trust again.
Happy days. Well, maybe Neela calls them victims.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm going to pay for
that. The other thing, just on that, the other thing that people might not be aware of, which is becoming a growing industry, is personal branding photography. And this is almost like a branch of branding photography, but rather than focusing on your business, it's more focused on your personality.
Right.
So it's about your personal brand as part of your business, if that makes sense. So it's kind of what makes trying to put across what makes you unique and interesting.
Is this the sort of thing maybe a radio DJ might focus on? Someone where you're tuning in to listen to them rather than because it's on that radio station?
Maybe, yeah. I think a lot of you see a lot of this on Instagram. A lot of celebrities have this kind of thing going on, and patients or clients.
That's it, folks. There's no show next week.
So that's it.
Stream the funeral live.
You see a lot of celebrities have this whole, the Beckhams. I think the Beckhams were the first sort of branded family, weren't they? It was like brand Beckham.
Yeah.
I'm not a brand expert, but for me, the first time I ever heard of people being a brand was the Beckhams. A lot of influencers, a lot of celebrities, particularly on Instagram, have this kind of photography. So, they'll have pictures of them out walking the dog or having a coffee, but they're not rubbish selfies like most people would take, including me.
But they get their photographs taken for free by the 50 paparazzi that are chasing around everywhere.
They do, but also there's a lot of people that pay for personal branding photography packages, and basically they'll spend 2 days with a photographer and they'll plan out all the photos for the next 3 months or however long. Wow. So in September, October, they'll be doing their Halloween ones, they'll be doing their Christmas jumper ones, they'll be doing their bonfire spark, whatever. So they actually will do however long it takes, 2 or 3 day shoot, and literally do a whole batch of photos that will keep them going for the next 2 or 3 months. Wow. Some of them will be professional photos made to look professional. Some of them will be You know, they'll be made to look like they've been taken on a phone, like it actually is a selfie, and it's not. That's a whole other thing going
People
on.
are actually faking selfies now with proper cameras.
I think they are. Yeah, I think they do. They get professionals to take the selfie.
That sounds backwards.
Yeah. Honestly, there's a lot of this goes on, and the point I'm making is most people listening to this wouldn't even be anywhere near doing that, or would want to.
Well, you try holding an SLR up at arm's length like that. See how long you can hold it for. That's a workout in itself.
I have taken my headshots myself on a tripod. I don't practice what I preach. I do it myself.
Have you ever tried holding your SLR at arm's length to take a selfie?
No.
It's very heavy.
Yeah. I suppose the point is, though, that apart from your business, you yourself as a business owner are part of that brand. So there's an element of, you know, lots of people now have got, they're on Instagram for their business, but there's nothing wrong with putting personal stuff on there as well, as long as it fits with your brand. It's okay to have photos of you. I mean, most people probably don't want to share pictures of their kids, but they can. But it's okay for you.
Snotty little toe rags, a lot of them.
Sorry?
Snotty little toe rags, a lot of them.
I suppose what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to have photos of yourself, because it just adds personality, adds character and interest. It adds to your story, and it makes people identify with you more.
Yeah, I think a really good example of that, if anyone's ever seen on YouTube, there's a chap called Peter McKinnon. He's a Canadian. I think he's probably a really good summary of personal branding. He's probably the pinnacle, if you like, of personal branding, because everything has got his name on it. Everything is about him from every single angle, every opinion he's got. He's basically, like you say, he's a visual storyteller.
Yeah.
And it's all about him. And it's incredibly entertaining to watch. Many an hour has been wasted watching what he's doing on YouTube. But yeah, that's really, if you want to see what personal branding's all about, I'd say take a look at Peter McKinnon on YouTube, and you'll really get the point of what Michelle's saying. Cool. So, branding photography.
I just realised
what about
there's one. Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
I was going to say the one thing I haven't talked about is, because a lot of people ask me about this, is flat lays.
Who?
Flat lays.
Is that a brand of crisps?
No. Flat lay photography. Are you on Instagram, Richard?
Insta what?
So
how much a gram did you say?
If
Are we still talking about photographs?
A lot of people that make things tend to put photographs of what they've made from above. It's a flat lay.
Oh yeah, the downward facing shot.
Yeah, I'm going to show you one. Hang on, if I can do it. There we go.
Is that one the yoga teacher taught you?
Yeah, that's downward dog. Can you see
close.
that?
Hold on a sec. Let's do that. There we go. Products and flat lays. Oh yeah, we can all see that.
Can you?
Yeah. We can all see that.
The photo on the left is basically, this is a shoot I did for a beauty box. So the photo on the left is a flat lay. So it's taken directly from above of the contents of the beauty box. And a lot of people have asked me about flat lays, because a lot of people want to take them of things that they're making within their business. And it's a really good way of they're very, they're very popular at the minute. They're very in, and they're not too difficult to do if you can get the lighting right. But they're a good way of showing off products, and it's easier than actually taking them probably from front on, because you haven't got to worry about your depth of field because you're taking it from above.
So what do you do? Do you put all the stuff on the floor and just lay on a table and just lean over the edge of it?
Yeah, the easiest way. I mean, it depends really. You can put it on a table, but the trouble is you've got to get up really high and take the photo directly looking down.
I was going to say, put everything on the floor and just lay on the table.
It's easier if you put it on the floor and do it, but you have to think about lighting, because you don't want to be using any flash. You want to use natural light. It's much easier, so you don't get the shadows between the products. Again, that sort of thing can be quite effective for showing off what you're doing, if you're making, if it's it doesn't even have to be a product-based business. I know people that have done them of notebooks, a writer. Actually, I did one recently for a lady a writer, and she had her laptop and her book and her pen, and we did it from above. You know, you can get quite creative with that kind of stuff.
Happy days. As long as someone doesn't want a flat lay of them sitting at the desk, right?
No.
You can go up on the ceiling like Spider-Man.
That would work. That's not going to
work. Yeah, that could be interesting. I've never heard of flat lays before.
You've not heard of flat lays? Okay.
Why would I? I don't take photographs. Barely use my own camera.
Yeah, a lot of people do them now. You know, it's they are very popular, and you see a lot of food photography done that way. You'll see like a chopping board with all the ingredients and then the dish that's the final dish there.
Yeah, my brother-in-law does that. He's a chef over in Hungary, and a few times when I've been over there, he says, "Right, clear the table," and he's putting these foam, big polystyrene blocks out, bright white things, tiny little gap in between for his camera to fit. And you're like, "What are you doing?" And then he'll put this massive bowl of whatever he's made in the middle, and you're like, and he starts tarting it up with different bits and pieces. Like, are we eating it or just playing with it? And then he starts taking hundreds of photos. Like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing. He's doing the recipe shots for the back of the seasoning packets and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
That's one of the things he's been doing, amongst other things. But eventually we get to eat it, so it's cool. But no, that's certainly an area of photography I'd never even knew existed. Flat lays. Yeah. Happy days. So that's branding. Would you say that covers making the most of your photos?
No, I don't think it does actually. I mean, I think that talks about the types of photos that the types of photography that is out there, is on offer that you can use. I don't think that, no, I mean, what I would say is if you're going to get photos taken for your business, think about how and where you're going to use them. So there's loads of different ways you can use them, apart from your profile photos, like obviously LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. They all have a round, I think they're all round, profile photo. So that's one thing. Your website, you know, you're going to have an About Me page, I would expect. And I would expect to see a photo of you on your About Me page as well. As well as dotted around your website, particularly if you're service-based, I would expect to see photos of you dotted around the website. But also on all your social media, you can use your photos not only in a profile photo. Like I'm just going to show you this one. Sorry, I'm whizzing on again.
No, you go ahead.
There we go.
Oh, that's a nice picture.
Can you see that? So this
is that the purple wall you were telling me about?
This is purple wall, yeah. So okay, so Alison, and she basically provides digital marketing support, as you can see. This is her Facebook banner. So she's got her profile photo here, and then she has this across the top of her Facebook page.
That's a really nice picture.
The purple matches the purple of her brand. So we got really lucky there. We found a wall.
I'm sure she'll
to take the photo. You know, we were really lucky. But this is, you know, she uses this on her Facebook banner. So it tells you what she does, it's her, and it fits with the brand. And again, you can do that on LinkedIn and Twitter. You can also use stuff, you know, photos on your blog posts. So if you've got, it just makes it more personal to have photographs of you. You can also use this kind of thing on your.
Bear with us a sec. Neela, can you hear us? Can anyone hear us? Neela's saying can't hear. All okay now? Okay, cool. Sorry, carry on.
Okay. You're right.
I get worried now every time someone says can't hear. But what's gone wrong now? But I'm recording all of this separately of YouTube as well, so we do have backup audio now. Sorry, Michelle, carry on.
No, that's all right. I'm just switching. I can see you because I just wanted to. Hang on. There we go. So yeah, this is a Facebook banner. So you can do the same on all your social media. It just customizes it. It makes it unique, really. So it's about putting your face on everything and having brand consistency across everything. The other thing you can do is use it on your newsletters. I mean, Ingrid, the Organise Your House lady, I'm on her mailing list, and I get her her newsletter every month, and it's one of her standing there drinking a cup of tea, and it's like Ingrid pops into my inbox with her cup of tea every month.
Happy
It's
days.
that kind of thing. It's like a visit from a friend rather than someone trying to sell you something.
Yeah, rather than just junk mail.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is, not everybody is on the same. Not everyone agrees with this, but I have my photo. I don't know if you can see it. I have my photo on my business card. So
hold on a second. Let's do, by the magic of the internet, let's do. Watch me press the wrong button now and screw this up. There we go.
Yeah. So this is my business card, front and back.
This is why no one recognizes Michelle when she turns up.
I'm behind the camera, but you can see my hair. Look, my hair's my brand. But I've got another one actually, and this is Lee. So Lee's got this really nice folding business card with her photo inside.
Happy days.
So, you know, if you're investing in headshots, you might as well use them. You might as well use them as much as you can. And actually, the other thing, I'll just show you.
This should be a good show, folks. There's lots of stuff to look
one at. There. So this is a social media post that Lee did. So he's a website copywriter, and every time she posts, well, not every time, a lot of the time she posts on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, she's using her photo in the post. Right there, next to her package. She's right there, next to what she's offering. And she's constantly, every time she posts, you see her face, you know who she is. So she's reinforcing her brand. She's reinforcing her every single time that she does this.
It's like being able to put a face to an offer.
Absolutely. It's so much more personal, you know?
Happy days.
It's so much more personal. And the other thing, I don't know if you can see behind me, I've got a pop-up banner. You might not be able to see it with a photo on it. So if you go into an exhibition, you can use your photos on there.
Is that not your trucker's calendar?
Yeah. No.
Male photographers of the year.
And, you know, presentations as well. Any sorts of, if you're doing webinars and, you know, talks, that kind of thing, you can use they usually ask you for a photo. And you can
because your brand is quite unique in that the only thing people know when they see pictures of you everywhere is a lens with red hair on it.
Yeah, but you know, and people recognise me.
Yeah, but you walk into a room and everyone knows who you are. It's like,
I do.
There's the red hair. Where's the camera?
I know. I have got. I mean, okay, on my business card, I'm behind the camera. On my website, I'm not.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if your business card on the other side was a picture of the back of your head?
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Is there anything else on the end of that with Lee's info?
I don't think so. I mean, I think I've covered most things. You know, it's, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's got any questions or.
Yeah, no one's asked. I think you've been so in depth with it all that everyone's just sort of gobsmacked at how much info they're getting.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I want to be useful.
The only thing we've had so far is death threats and promises of violence.
Yeah.
They're all aimed at me though, so that's fine.
That's the first time. First for everything.
Yeah. So Michelle will be there to photograph the funeral if you. Happy days. So, well, one comment. Who's that? Just use mine on PowerPoint course I've just done. Happy days. Yeah. So, like Michelle was saying, use your branding for everything.
You should. And you know, I did a talk at a event about a month ago, and I stood up and did a PowerPoint presentation, and you know, I had my photo on it 2 or 3 times in there. I just don't want people to forget who I am, you know.
Oh, we won't. Honest.
You got the hair.
We can't forget who you are. So if you're watching this, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you're missing out on an awful lot. If you're listening to this on iTunes or any other podcasting platform of your choice later on, I would highly suggest that this is one show where you probably want to hop onto YouTube and just watch the show, because this is a very visual show this week. And you can't describe a photograph with 1,000 words, I think. So especially when you're talking about branding, these sort of pictures say way more than 1,000 words, more than we've ever got time for. And yeah, so that really pretty much is the point where I start stumbling over my words and saying, "Any questions?" No one seems to have any questions, so that is fantastic, and it's 8 o'clock.
I'm probably just stunned with how much talking.
Yeah, we've just shocked and gobsmacked the whole lot of them, and the whole nation is just like, great, happy days. So, if you could give anyone any tips to take away from today, your top fives, must dos or don't dos, what would you say to people?
I suppose the first thing is, if you're running a business and you're thinking about photos, and you should be, is think beyond a headshot. I think most people know they need to get their profile photo, but actually just think a little bit bigger and a little bit further in the future than that. If you're going to invest in getting a headshot, then just think about whether a headshot is all you need or whether you need more than that. I'd say focus on who your ideal client is.
Is that still number one?
No, I'm on the second one now, I think.
Oh, come on, you got to number them. We can't keep up with it.
One.
I want to add to number one too.
Go on.
If you don't take yourself seriously and you don't invest in yourself, neither will anyone else. So, if you're doing business, do it right or go home. Stay home. Oh, no, you already are at home. Sorry.
That was my point number 3. No.
Oh, sorry.
It wasn't.
Told you it's a mess.
Point number 2, focus on your client, on who your ideal client is and what they're expecting to see. Don't put anything out there, any photos out there that's going to put them off.
None of this, right?
No. And like you said, make sure that you're only using high quality photos that are consistent with your brand.
No photos of you getting blotto in Ibiza.
No, do any of that. Although, God, it would be nice, wouldn't it, right now to do that?
It'd be wonderful, but yeah. Just don't put it on LinkedIn.
The other thing, if you are planning a shoot, so if you have decided that you want to have photos taken, the most successful shoots I've had with people where they've come away and just got exactly what they need is the people that have planned it. Now, I always have a phone chat with people. I think it's a consultation. I call it a chat. A phone consultation, a pre-shoot phone consultation before the shoot, just to talk about what they need. And quite often people haven't really put a lot of thought into it at all. And
I didn't.
Yeah, but I think you had to a certain level.
I had a rough idea of what I wanted, but not as much as I thought I did until you started asking questions.
Yeah, I think that's it. And quite often it takes 2 conversations because I'll give people lots of questions and they're kind of, I have to go away and think about it. But what I would say is do think about it, because take time to think about what photos you want, where you're going to use them and how you're going to use them and what you want them to look like. And make sure that you tell your photographer that and take the time to talk about this with your photographer so they know exactly what you want, even down to, do you need a square one or do you need a long one? Because if you're thinking use it on Facebook, but you don't tell your photographer, they're going to take it in a format that may not, you can usually tweak it or, add bits to it, but it can be a bit of a faff. It's much better if they know where it's going to go. So it's...
I love the technical terms.
I'm sure there are technical terms. Just a little bit of planning and thinking about it, and you'll get so much more out of your shoot than you would otherwise.
Indeed. I think when you came and did mine, all I knew was I wanted something that I could use as a banner. That was it. And that was the only thing I kept banging on about. And she was like, okay, I get it. You said banner 500 times. Shut up.
But even down to, I say to people, where's it going on your website? Oh, on this page. Where on that page? Because you want to make sure you're looking, hang on, I'm going to go that way. You're looking for the words.
Yeah.
So if you've got a photo of you standing like this on that edge of the website and all the rest of your words are over here,
then it looks horrible, doesn't it?
So if you know it's got to go in a particular slot, then you need to make sure that you're facing the words either way, it's that level of detail really makes life a lot easier, and it will just make it look so much better.
Unless it's a divorce website, in which case that would be perfectly suitable.
It would. I'm loving you though.
Yeah, just face the other way. Put all the words over there.
Yeah.
Was that 3 or 4? How where we at?
I don't know. That's one of them. 4, I think.
Who's counting? Anyone counting?
It's 4.
Do you know Tracy, by the way, or is she just a random tuner in?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Happy days. Welcome, Tracy. I hope you come and join us more often.
I'm glad it was helpful.
There's a lot of stuff to learn. Like I was saying to someone the other day, what I've learned out of just doing this show would fill a book many times over. None of it about audio either.
Oh, well, you learn.
Indeed.
I think I was going to say, can I say just something else before we go?
Of course.
Obviously, I'm conscious that we're in lockdown and people aren't really doing a lot, and I can't really do anything. As in, I can't physically help people with their photos. I can't take photos.
Walk past her house slowly, she'll take your picture.
But I was going to say, if people, the only thing I can do is help, is chat on the phone. So if anybody wants to speak to me, or if they want some advice or they want some tips, they want me to look at a lady last week was struggling with her Instagram, and she wasn't sure where she was going wrong, and I looked at it purely from a aesthetic point of view, purely from a photographic point of view, to give her some tips on how to make it look better, that kind of thing. If anybody's struggling for ideas of photos to put on their website, or just just want to pick my brains on anything, then I'm happy to have a quick sort of 15-20 minute chat on the phone during this lockdown situation.
Nice. No one's got any questions then. Where's it gone? I had a wonderful photograph I wanted to show you. I can't find it now. Just my luck. Preparation went all out the window. It was a photograph that I took a few years ago, and it won an award here in Croydon. And I wanted to get your opinion on it. Just my luck, I can't find the damn thing. In fact, I don't know where it is, but I'll save it for another time. It's on my Facebook page. I've buried it in my photos there somewhere.
I'd love to see it.
But I can find it. It'll just take me about 30 seconds to find it. Photos, albums, photography. There it is. I found it. So this photograph here. Save image. Desktop. Chuck that on there. Upload photo from desktop. So this photograph, I got lucky. I'd had my camera 2 days, and at the time, that's the after picture. So I was still learning how to use it. So I just got this brand new Canon 80D, and this was right before Remembrance Sunday, the week before our Air Cadet Squadron. One of the lads was dressing up in World War II uniform, and this is what I took. Where's it gone? Hang on, remove that.
I can see it. It's in the background.
Hold on. Oh my god, I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. Hold on. If I do, what am I doing? Hang on. Press that button. Then that one. Nope, not that one. What is going on? Hold on a sec. I'll get this right in a minute, I promise. Show that. And then, why is that not showing? Oh, because I've got it as a background. Idiot.
Yeah, I can see it in the background.
Yeah, hold on a sec. This is not being stupid. What I need to do is that. What? Nope, that's still not it. Oh my god, this software just doesn't let me show full screen stuff. Yeah, trying to show something on Facebook is not easy.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
Nice. I like that.
So that's the photograph that I took. And what does that look like to you, do you say? You reckon? Can you still hear me?
First of all, I thought that was he was standing in a train doorway.
Does look like it, doesn't it?
But there's a brick wall there,
Yeah.
leaning against a pillar.
Uh-huh.
Is it not a train?
It looks like a train, doesn't it?
Hmm.
So
Hang on.
with this was shot at night time in October. Sort of 8 o'clock in the evening. And this was shot at a Territorial Army Centre. And those things behind him are the shutters that where the Territorial Army keep all their vehicles and stuff.
Oh.
But with the lighting was actually orange. So if I show you the before, this was the before,
Oh yeah.
and I just downloaded Lightroom that day, and with 10 minutes of messing around, with not reading any instructions because no one
Did
does.
you use a preset?
No, I just messing around with sliders and pressing buttons.
Yeah, it's much better.
And
Yeah.
it came out like that, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I put
It's
it
got a
into
really nice
photo.
feel to it.
Yeah, it's got quite an eerie sort of.
And
sad,
I really like the lines.
Yeah,
Yeah, really nice.
it's almost like something major is about to happen.
I think what's nice is those sort of lines that go down like this as well.
Yeah,
Draws
and a
your
few
eye
people
into it.
that saw it said it looked a bit like he was going off to war on a train.
Yeah, it did.
And that's pretty much what I was going for. I didn't even set that picture up. I just had my camera with me, and I saw him preparing for Remembrance Sunday, and I saw the light, and I thought, "Hang on a minute, there's a good opportunity here."
Yeah, it's
And
good.
I got very lucky, and that photograph won an award at a photography competition in Croydon.
Well
So I was like, "Yeah, go me!" But that was purely accident and fluke, so that wasn't deliberate. So if no one's got any further comments or questions, no one wants to badger Neela. I mean Michelle. We can badger Neela later. Really good show. She says slick and great information from Michelle. Yeah.
Good.
So I'd like to say thank you very much to our guest Michelle for coming on this week.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
It has been an absolute pleasure. I've been really looking forward to this week's show too for a long time. And what I shall do, we shall leave you with some fantastic music. Hopefully Michelle will hear it this time.
Oh yeah.
I shall bid you all a wonderful weekend. Yeah, we'll see if we can catch a snip of you dancing in the background. I shall bid you all a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week at 7 o'clock. And I've got a very, very good guest coming on next week. She just agreed to it today. And so we're going to continue the theme of marketing, and we're going to be talking about your content, what you actually write to put with the stuff that Michelle photographs. So tune in next week for some fascinating information on that and some wonderful insights, hopefully. And I should bid you all a good weekend. So on that note, I've got to press the right button now without things exploding. If I press that button there and do this, so we say good night, Michelle.
See ya. Thank you.